Welcome back to Candidate Speakout. My name is Mike Goss, and I'm interviewing Mayor Jim Kight, who's running for another term as Troutdale Mayor. Jim, all of the things that you have said during the campaign have been positive. They've been about the good things going on in Troutdale. Why don't we start with the Troutdale Reynolds Industrial Park and the FedEx complex?
Good place to start. That particular property won the national award. The former home of Reynolds Aluminum won the Phoenix Award, if you will, for a cleanup of the property. The aluminum company, Alcoa Aluminum, did a $231 million cleanup of that property. It was purchased by the Port of Portland and is now home of the regional FedEx facility. And it's got 750 employees. It's a $129 million project. And already FedEx is looking to expand that property to add another 215,000 square feet. FedEx had a banner year this last year. More and more people are buying things on the internet, and that requires, of course, home delivery. So it helps, of course, the employment situation in Troutdale. A lot of people say, well, those are kind of low-income jobs, but I don't know about you, Mike, but when I started at the bottom. And there's a lot of students going to Mount Hood Community College, and they're able to find employment right there at that particular area. So I think it's a great thing to have the FedEx facility there. By the way, that facility covers Oregon, Washington, Northern California, and parts of Montana and Idaho. So it has far-reaching effects.
I understand you've given tours inside that facility and you've watched the conveyor go by at 75 miles an hour.
Yes, in fact, it's fascinating to watch that. And FedEx actually invented this piece of equipment. So if you have a box that's got a barcode on it, normally you had to turn that box a particular position so it could read the barcode. Now with that new piece of equipment, it doesn't care which way the box is coming through, and it goes by very, very quickly. And there's little arms that then direct that box down a chute, and there's somebody down at the bottom loading. It looks like a mosaic as they're putting all these boxes in the back end of a FedEx truck, and of course they go all over the Pacific Northwest.
Wow. Let's move to the Troutdale Energy Center. Tell us about that.
This is probably one of the most exciting projects to come down the pike for the city of Troutdale. This is a $680 million project. And basically, it's a cogeneration plant. As Mike, you know, and our listeners know, the Boardman plant, the coal-fired Boardman plant for Portland General Electric in the year 2020 is going to be closing. So they're looking for the other options. Right through lot number 3, right to the southeast corner of where FedEx is located, is a big natural gas pipeline. Well, that natural gas pipeline could be used for this cogeneration plant. So they have 653 megawatts, which would provide electrical service through 350,000 homes. During the construction project, and this is really interesting, 2,315 direct jobs, people that would be working for the next 4 years on building that plant. And then there's the multiplier effect, the employment multiplier effect of those people working at the plant of another 2,350 jobs. By the way, the starting salary in most of those jobs at that Troutdale Energy Center is $96,000. And for the listeners at home, they have, at any particular time, they have 50 openings. This is a company out of White Plains, New York, and it's called the Development Partners, because they can't find qualified workers, trained qualified workers to work in these plants. So what are they going to do? They contacted Mount Hood Community College, and they're going to start a training program right there at the college. They said they're going to do that even if they don't build the Troutdale Energy Center. Great news for East County.
Wow. Well, those were two examples of people at work. Let's talk about people at play. Let's talk about our parks.
Well, it's interesting. Out of all the cities in the Portland metropolitan area, we have most of our property is off the tax rolls. A lot of our property in Troutdale, because people like parks, are parks. So we have regional parks, we have neighborhood parks, and just outside the city limits, probably one of the most popular parks, particularly to the people in the Portland metropolitan area is 1,000 acres, the former Hickland Farm. And people bring out their dogs and they're able to run and just let them roost. And they go, that particular property goes from the I-84 north all the way to the Columbia River. So, and of course we have the Glenada Park right on the shores of the Sandy River. And last year we had 28,000 people come to our park. So we have a lot of visitors, which creates employment for Troutdale because you have to provide those services for those visitors and the people using our park areas.
Excellent. What role have you played in these three items? You're always moving. I've never seen you're either moving at full speed or you're unconscious. I've never seen the unconscious part. I only see you going by. What role have you played in these important projects?
Well, Mike, before you and I stepped in the studio, I gave you an example. In this very building, the Oregon Community Foundation had a brunch. I received a little 3x5 postcard inviting me to this brunch. I had no clue what the Oregon Community Foundation was. As it turns out, they give, you provide an application for a grant and they give you money. This is a good thing. So one of the things I was looking for was money for a recreational program. And by the way, kind of as a sidebar, Troutdale is the only city in all of East Multnomah County that has a recreational program. And we just won a governor's award. There was only 2 cities that received an award from the governor's office on physical fitness, and Troutdale was one of those 2. But going back to the unique Oregon Community Foundation, as it turns out, the CEO said, what we do is we give money. And I thought, this is great because you know what? There was no competition in the room from the other elected officials. So we were able to fill out the grant and get money for a recreational program in Troutdale. And this is great because not only do the people in Troutdale use that recreational program, but all of the people in East Multnomah County like Gresham, Fairview, and Wood Village.
You seem to have the ability to sniff out the opportunities. What's your secret?
Well, I think the secret, Mike, is networking. Let me give you an example. At the League of Oregon City, this is the annual meeting that we have of mayors and councilors throughout the entire state of Oregon. By the way, there's 242 other cities in Oregon, and we're able to meet with state agency heads. The one I focus on the most is Matt Garrett with the Oregon Department of Transportation. And tonight, this very night that we're taping this show, is they're having a meeting at the Holiday Inn Express, and they're going to be spending, Oregon Department of Transportation, $22 million to create a 2-way on Marine Drive. Why is that important? Because that'll allow the freight traffic to go to the Troutdale Reynolds Industrial Park, where the energy center is going to be built, and currently, as we mentioned earlier, the FedEx facility is. Those things just don't happen by chance.
That's excellent. What's in store for the future for Troutdale, Jim?
I think Troutdale is well positioned. We have $843 million in proposed, that's the Troutdale Energy Center, $680 million, and actual projects going on. So as I mentioned earlier, the bridge project is $92.4 million. That's the new bridges, the I-84 east and westbound bridges. And that project will be completed in the year 2014, about the fall of 2014. At the same time, we'll start the other project, the Marine Drive project. That's a $22 million project. Again, it's about networking. So there's federal money, there's state money, Oregon Department of Transportation. There's the city of Troutdale that's put into this, so this project could be completed, as well as the Port of Portland. All those pieces are coming together to make that project happen.
Wow. In light of everything you brought up, why should voters vote for Mayor Jim Kight for another 4 years?
Well, I think one of the primary reasons is I'm always there. If there's a meeting, I'm there. I'm looking for opportunities to improve our city. I'm looking for opportunities to bring resources back into the community. And if I could segue back to the College Nature Park, and I think we have a artist rendering of that, that money is Metro money coming back in. So we don't want to be just a donor. We want the money to come back into the community. They're spending $546,000 on the corner of Stark and Troutdale Road to build a 5-acre park. And it's under construction as we speak, expected to be completed by mid-November. Again, that adds additional assets, which creates livability into our community.
Excellent. So what the voters get, in a nutshell, what do the voters get when they say, I'm voting for Jim Kight for mayor? What do they get?
You get a mayor who's totally engaged at every level, at the federal level, at the state level, at the local level, at the county level. And over the 17 years that I've been on the city council, 4 as the mayor, I have a lot of contacts and a lot of people I can call no matter what the situation is. And we look for solutions. We look for ways to create, assist in employment centers like the Troutdale Reynolds Industrial Park, or transportation improvements to make it better for the traveling public, or whether it's commuters that are coming through into the, live in the Troutdale area, or traveling east. Maybe they're going up to Mount Hood, that type of thing. So we want to create a job center in Troutdale. One of the most valuable commodities is time. And I'm hoping to create a situation where more and more people can live in Troutdale and not be just a veteran community, but also can work in Troutdale. That'll be a huge savings in time.
Excellent. The voters have a choice. On November 6th, when you choose to vote for Jim Kight, you vote for another great 4 years of things getting done in the city of Troutdale.